Okay guys, in this particular video I'm going to show you how some of my investments did in 2024. Normally I don't do videos like this, but I thought I will share some of the investments that I made for the year and how they did particularly do. So I'll give you guys a dive in, some of my portfolio or most of the plays that I made for this particular year. Overall, for the most part, I think it's been a very good year for me. The stock market, I think the S&P was up about 24% video. I'll go through what I had my strategies for 2024. Probably not in too much detail because I don't want to bore you, and I'll show you the picks that I had. I didn't make a lot of individual picks, but I made a few individual picks, mainly ETFs because I'm more of a long term. I don't want to have to be checking it all the time. The list, and if you guys are really interested in the reasons why I purchased it or something like that, just let me know, and then I can drop like the Word document in the descriptions or something. And if you're new and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button and you subscribe to the channel. Okay guys, so sometimes at the beginning of the year I normally kind of write my plays down, so some of this could be subject to change, but just to give you an overview of like what my particular strategy for investor overview: diversified portfolio this year, focus on tech, cryptocurrency and emerging technologies, risk appropriate, moderate to high, with a mix of stable and speculative investments. As far as the long-term growth, of course, the goal long-term growth and understand investments for rational over time. So one of the individual companies that I ended up doing was PayPal, and I'll show you how PayPal ended up doing. This year was more like laid back. The overall stock market, Vanguard Total Stock Market Index, VTI, $1,000 there. This was the ARC fund that I ended up doing. It's about $800 there, and it shows the sector focus and why I was looking at those particular plays. And also you seen the Bitcoin, investing $20 a week, dollar cost averaging, and it shows my investing thesis and things like that. So I tried to do that like going forward so that I can track my reasons for buying and selling. Another one was Ethereum at the beginning of the year. So let's end up seeing how a lot of this done. And I actually purchased some other ones, along the road was Nike. So a lot of the things that I was kind of keeping track on was Sandbase, Decentraland. This was more so like the speculative. You can see investment Nike at $93 and my logic behind that. And that was, kind of, I didn't really make too many particular place percent as far as with Nike. So that, but by the way, most of my investments, I'm looking at least probably at least 3 to 5 year time frame as far as like where I would expect to see a particular turnaround. It could be like longer than that, but most of the time I'm kind of assessing that I'm expecting a good turnaround within 3 to 5 years. This was the one I know I talk about this, the buffer ETFs. I made a video on that. You can check that out. I actually do purchase these. That was the cap was the 17%, so that you did well. The one of my probably biggest successes this year was dollar cost averaging with Bitcoin, and I believe I was doing it since the beginning of the year. So like when it was like $35, or I mean not $35, 35 about $35,000, and it kind of did really well. I've also been slowly picking up Neos. I kind of just recently started, and I'll make one for 2025, my 2025 plays and stuff like that. Maybe nothing too serious. Bitcoin. Okay, so for the Bitcoin, It had a little pullback before, so at one time I think I was up over like $2,000, maybe 2,200. But it had a little pullback, but I'm still up over 103%. Just and just like I can see, mainly just doing the $20, $20 a week for, I mean, over a year now. So that's kind of the strategy. I'll just kind of keep that particular going. So that one turned out well. Oh, and by the way, also I end up doing about 40%. So that was, kind of well. Now I did that particular play. I did add some more, uh, kind of like a small amounts here and there. So that's why that's a little lower than it was kind of before. With that, so it's right now it's showing up 30%, but I did end up, I think I meant to put it on $20 weekly, but I actually put it on daily, as you can see when we look at, the, um, let's go down to the history. Um, this was for like, I believe two, let me see, so you guys can see, bop, 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 bop. Yeah, so 2020. So for 3 days, I meant to put it weekly, but it ended up, I had to switch it. I mean, I had daily, but I meant to do it weekly. If that, but yeah, so you guys can end up seeing the history of, when I was purchasing them. I did put, looks like 500 here midway in July and August. Looks like I did that. But if you go back to that purchase, these were the one, oops, this one that purchased 650 here, 400 there, and 200 there. So I actually did end up, putting, a lot more than what I actually showed on the sheet earlier. So 6 shares. So of Nike, I'm down 16.19%. So March 2022, 2024, I bought 5 shares for $93. I bought 5 shares for $93.20 cents as well. So you can just see that. I also bought Nike on a different one, my E-Trade. Decentraland, I end up putting, as you can see here, $50, $50, $50. So I started, binds. These are more like my speculative plays. That one is, it was up for much higher, but for now it's up 3.77%. I was end up increasing the amount later on, as well. And we also can look at the my sandbox position that I've kind of built up. This one's up 37 percent. Total that is $420. Unrealized gains $113. I'm up 37 percent on that one. I did sell like a few older cryptos for most of the crypto that I end up selling for loss. I end up buying right back, but let's see. So yeah, so like ones like this one, the Aurora, I end up selling when it was kind of down for a loss, and then I just buy it back for tax loss harvesting. So some of the ones that was down previously during the year, I just end up selling it and buying it back. As you can see, this one was the ARC one, 26 shares. Right now it's down $188 and 59 cents. Let's go to the other. So Nike as well, 5 shares, $20.34 for Nike. PayPal one, as you can see, up $356.34 for ETF one that I normally end up doing. This one up $2,652, but I had this one for a couple years now. You can see the returns that that one has produced. This one came really handy in 2022 when they were like down, like the market was down like 20%. That one, that one's up. I got 8 shares of that one. That one's up of a total of about $438 and $0.91. You guys a sense of my some of my investment portfolios, and some of my investments and how they're doing, so you guys can see a little bit more than I usually particular share. But yeah, that's it for 2025. I still have to like make that of all the stuff that I'm going to go for 2025. So once I have the 2025, I'll probably put it out earlier, so and then go with review it so that you can see the investments that I particularly made at the beginning of the year, and then we can assess how it did at the end as well. But guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel.